Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Let us recap a little bit of what transpired on last week's episode. Our good friends, Sisk, Mira, Aidy, and Bren all made their way back to Orlustran, having escaped it some 10-ish days prior, maybe closer to 12 actually, now that I think about it. Escaping being the appropriate word, as they fled the feared Naestromo, a group of clerical hunters that had made their way to the city. Before they did that, they had to rescue some of their compatriots and deal with some of Aidy's illicit past. But rescue they did, perhaps a little bit of harm done to their psyches and their physical forms as well, but nonetheless they were successful, and they ventured their way up into the mountains, hoping to be able to take some time away from the city of Orlustran and avoid the feared Naestromo within the city altogether. Unfortunately, time is not on their side, as Aidy and Mira's parents are soon coming to the city to assist in some difficulties Mira is having at school. And so they couldn't stay for too long at the crashed airship in the Stormsong Mountains, and thus came back. They came back only to discover that the city was tense. The city is undergoing investigations, and it's causing no end of turmoil amongst the populace. Different religious organizations are calling out the Naestromo for their underhanded and, in some ways, vulgar tactics of revealing those individuals that possess what they call and deem cursed magics. And they're taking a very long time to do it, with public warrants being presented and displaying people in the streets so that society knows that such individuals are not trusted. And they still have not left. This turmoil that is affecting Orlustran is causing tensions within the city, and our companions sought to use some of that tension perhaps to cover their tracks a little bit as they continued to gather the resources that they need to repair the airship in the mountains. They stuck to the shadows, only dealing with people that they knew, using disguises and their abilities that they have to continue their avoidance. But they can only do so much, and they're short on time, so they split up to take care of various things. Thankfully, Sisk, being the resourceful individual that they are, had a safe house, maybe another one tucked away in a different quarter of the city, but they have a safe place to at least operate out of for now. And as the evening of the 14th, I think it's the 14th? Yeah. As the evening of the 14th wore on, they came home, one by one. First, Sisk, then Bren, and then Aidy. Oh, I'm sorry, it's the 16th. My bad. But not Mira. Sun's set. Came. Still no sign of Mira. Hours passed. High moons. Still no sign of Mira. As we return our attention to the safe house and find our three companions present, waiting for their fourth. What are you doing?
Pacing, freaking out a little bit.
Fair.
Bren's kind of like laying down, taking a nap.
Sisk is probably sitting up like you would wait for your child at the door, watching the door, playing with a coin, doing like coin tricks and shit. They don't have the little skateboards, so coin's the
that
best bet.
tech deck, that'd be awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
love a tech deck.
She's gonna be here. She's probably tying up loose ends or having some alone time.
Yeah, but she should have said something, and she would have said something by now. I mean, like, what
What was she
if
supposed to say?
I don't know. I'm gonna be late. She could send a squirrel or a moth or whatever, right? So, I mean, look, I know that like when she's, been studying and stuff, she'll get distracted and she's late, but like, I don't know, and I can't feel her because she's too far, and that's weird.
You're obsessing.
Yeah, I'm obsessing. You know what happened just yesterday?
Yeah, I was there. just
When should we go to the last place we knew she was? When does that start?
Hours ago, if it was up to me, but someone had to take a nap.
I'm old. I'm sleepy.
I know. I'm just
We had a big day.
It's a very big day. Very big day. Listen, it's okay, right? If you're that worried, well, what's the equivalent to the time right now?
It's roughly midnight.
Oh. She's not back by the morning. We'll burn the city down. How about that?
By the morning?
Come on. You come on.
Siska's going to try and make eye contact with Aidy over Bren's head and be like, okay.
His eyes
We'll
are
wait till the
closed,
morning.
and he's like, he's got his eyes closed and he's leaned back like if he was wearing a hat, it'd be over his face. He's like,
Oh, yeah.
if the two of you are going to sneak out, I prefer that you would tell me so I know if I'm looking for 3 people and not just one.
Yeah, we're gonna sneak out. We're obviously gonna sneak out. We're not gonna... I can't sit here. Like, what if... I know that Nesner's gone, but what if Cadreus is still looking for me or us now that we've, caused some havoc? It's not like
She
her
can go
to be gone for
invisible.
this long.
Like,
I know she
understand.
can.
After all of the things that happened to us, wouldn't you think that she would be smart enough to keep her distance, to stay safe? Maybe she just needs a moment. Also, at the same time, you are twins, but you are 2 separate people.
Well, yeah, I know that, but she's my person, and I don't know where she is.
Okay. So are we going now, or are we going to wait till the morning?
I would like to go sooner rather than later.
As you say that,
Hello.
there is a knock at the door.
See?
God.
I'm gonna be a different person and I'm gonna go. Is this is one of the safe houses?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
What?
look like a weird squatter. And I'm gonna go, what is it? Who is that?
You don't hear anything. However, Aidy gets a voice in her mind. Andrew, what would be the message that Violet says to Aidy?
Aidy, are you in there? Do you need help?
Does this feel like one that I can respond to?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it you at the door? We're fine in here. If that's you at the door, and then you won't hear any more from the message itself, but you probably hear whisper shouting to Sisk. I think it's Violet. She just messaged me, and
I will throw open the door. I guess I still look like a little crazy person, but
yeah. So Violet, the door is thrown open in front of you. You all see Violet standing there. New person for Sisk, but Ian. Oh, and just so you all know, Barlby Gem being the amazing individual that they are, everyone now has an advantage.
thank you, Varl. Appreciate it.
But yes, you see Violet standing there, short cropped hair now instead of the long black that you saw before. What other ways, Andrew, does Violet look different to Aidy and Bren?
Violet just stands a little bit taller. Maybe not physically taller, but she seems taller. She's straight back instead of hunched over. And as soon as she makes eye contact with Aidy, she'll just blow past everyone and just give Aidy the biggest hug and squeeze her as tight as she can.
As Violet blows past Sisk and wraps Aidy up in a hug, Sisk, you notice that there is another individual standing outside still, has not entered, that was following along behind Violet to the front door. You see a elven woman. Given Sisk's understanding of elven age, you would know her to be around 250-ish years of age, probably. Looking fair and hearty, definitely a little bit travel worn. And as she is standing there with her arms crossed, just kind of eyeing the entrance and giving you kind of a once-over, you see a very large eagle-like bird fly out of the darkness and land upon her shoulder. You can see that ruffled throughout the feathers of this bird are a series of crystalline blue colored feathers mixed in with the gray and white feathers on the rest of their form. And as they look at Sisk in this raised squatter persona that they have adopted, you see the two of them, the bird and the elven woman, kind of glance at each other and seem to share some kind of silent communication before looking you up and down and just saying, hello?
You with her?
Yes, I am.
Okay, come in.
She nods and then reaches up and gives her bird a scratch on the chest, and the bird just kind of nods a little bit subtly and then takes off into the sky once again as she walks into the room. You all now get to see Ren as she steps into the room, what's happening between Aidy and Violet in this hug.
They're still hugging. It's an extended hug.
Absolutely crying.
Yeah, for sure. And after a very long time, I think Aidy would hold Violet out and just say, "Look at you. I love the hair. You look fantastic.
Thank you.
How are you doing?"
I'm good. Actually, really good. I have tons to tell you. But we could catch up later. Have you seen Mira? I haven't heard from her in days. I've sent her
Just one day. Just one day.
One day.
Yes.
In a day.
Today.
And she responds every single time, and I haven't heard. And so we came to the city to look for you guys.
Aidy will look pointedly at Bren for just a moment and then look back to Violet. No, actually, she never showed up. So it's been hours, and I don't know where she is, and I can't feel her. And
no.
yeah,
One of the last few things she told me that was the Nostromo were after you. Are you guys okay?
for now, I think. I mean, we're at the safe house here. I don't know.
It's weird for her not to respond. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. We've literally sent each other messages
Yes.
every single day since I've been gone, and I've always gotten a
Thank you.
response.
I was told to maybe chill about it a little bit, which I understand, but also,
I mean, we know how
It's
weird
weird.
and neurotic Mira is. It's weird that she doesn't respond.
yeah. Okay. Well, we have to find her.
Oh, by the way, this is my aunt, Ren.
Hi.
So sorry. Sorry for
Hi.
not introducing you. This is my best friend, Aidy. This is Jawline. And I think this might be Sisk. Mira mentioned you. I just want to say thank you for taking care of my friends while I was away.
Let me go change into something a little bit more comfortable. Go around the corner and go into the Sienna persona and come back around and be like, okay, hello. I wish I was meeting you under better circumstances, but hopefully we can make the best of it.
Yeah. So Mira is gone, apparently, is what I'm understanding.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why is it that your friends keep disappearing, Violet? They weren't at the apartment. We had to track them here.
Well, sounds like they ran into some trouble, which,
Yeah.
we all
Well,
do. It's
of
weird
course.
that she's not here, though. Mira and Aidy are always together, so it's weird that
Okay.
they're not.
All right. It's lovely meeting all of you. I apologize. I'm a little bit tired at the present. We
Yeah.
kind of had to rush back. When was the last place you saw? Where was the last place you know they went?
Was she going back to the library? Is that?
The Illuminated Heart at the library.
Yeah.
Or the
okay.
Illuminated Hearts library.
Yeah. I mean, she was back at school in the Library of the Heart. I mean,
The Library of the Heart. Right. So forgive me, it's been probably a century since I've been to Orlustrin. Need a little bit more detail than that.
the Illuminated Heart,
Got it.
biggest building.
Yep.
Yeah.
That one I know. That one.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Do you
it
have
is
anything
really
that belongs to
great.
her?
Oh yeah, all kinds of stuff. And she'll like rummage through her pack, take out like 3 shirts that she stole from her. And then, I mean, what kind of thing are you looking for? Like,
The shirt's fine. Something simple, scarf, anything. As long as it's not a sock. I hate dealing with socks.
no, I don't bother with her socks. Gross.
Yeah, great. All right. And Ren just kind of takes the shirt from you, not aggressively or anything, but snags it. Go ahead and give me insight checks, the 3 of you, please.
I choose to fail.
Okay.
Oh.
Bryn is distracted.
Aidy
bad
chose to
at
fail
it.
too, apparently.
I got a 10 with advantage.
I have disadvantage, so I got an 8.
Brilliant. Yeah, this Ren woman, she's just not a pleasant person right now. She takes the shirt from you. Gonna be okay if this ends up disappearing?
Take this one instead and just switch it out for
Great.
a different one.
All right. I'm gonna step out, and Lyra and I will see if we can figure out a direction. You're
Thank
back
you.
shortly. And tiredly, they like leave the safe house. As the door is closing, you can hear the sound of the bird's feathers or wings beating as it flies by the door as it closes.
She's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's your aunt.
Yeah, that's my aunt. That's my mom's sister. I haven't seen her since I was like 7.
And did you just run into her? Did you like ask her for help?
Oh my god, you have no idea. Okay. Oh man, where do I start? So following my dad's journal, going up north to try to find this metal, we ended up in a place called Thalrin's Hollow. Turns out this place is like a safe haven for cursed people. It's like it turns out my dad, he was a smuggler, but he smuggled people. He brought people to safety. He took people, like cursed people, out of Orlestran and found safe havens for them. And he set them up all over the continent. And this one was run by my aunt. He left it in charge. And when I got there, I saw Lyra, that bird. I would notice that bird anywhere. I grew up playing with that bird, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And yeah, she was there. And oh man, so much happened. Yeah, so you would have loved this place, Aidy. You would have loved it. It was people just being themselves, like just doing whatever they wanted, whatever they needed to do. They could do magic if they needed. It was amazing.
Wow.
I couldn't believe it. You know, I didn't know places like this existed outside of the city. Yeah, and it turns out, I think my dad left me, but I wonder if he did it to protect me. I don't know, to set these places up. I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't really talked to my aunt about it too much. But these people, they all helped me and my aunt get into some ruins, and then we found the metal, and then we ended up getting attacked by, or I guess ambushed as well by the Naestromo. They were after.
That wasn't Naestromo, that was just clergy.
Just clergy. And they kind of shut the place down. They were after my aunt. And
Jeez.
we tried to help as many people as we could, but then once we could, we came back as fast as we could come. But yeah, it's crazy. It's like there's a whole other side to this. It feels like there's a lot of unrest and resistance happening outside of the cities. Like, Brenton, you were from a village, and you were telling me like your dad or you stepped up and started to resist. I think this is really common in like the outskirts and in smaller villages and towns. I don't know. I get this feeling that there's a whole other side to this that I have no idea even existed. And I think my dad and maybe my mom and definitely my aunt are a part of. It's crazy. I know it sounds crazy, but
It sounds
I couldn't believe
incredible.
it. Yeah.
So they're all over the place, these safe havens.
We don't know where they all are. I don't know. I feel like maybe my aunt does. She seems very cagey around it. It's probably for safety reasons. They can't just go around telling people. But I saw it. I found it. Like the only reason I found it was because I was following my dad's journal. Like I can't imagine ever being able to find something like that. Just coming across it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we moved around a lot and lived in a lot of different places, but they were always places with a heavy clergy presence, because we were moving for mom and dad's work. So I had no idea.
I've never been outside of the city, so like,
Yeah.
and it
Wow.
feels like there's something bigger happening, and I don't know what it is, but it's exciting. I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But I have the medal for the ship. I'm so glad to see you guys. And I am worried about Mira.
Is your aunt like, I mean, she looks like she could find anybody with ease, but I'm assuming that's the case.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. She found a faster route to get back to the city. Like, I went in such a roundabout way, and she found such a much faster way to get back. And then she found you guys when we got here. So
Yeah.
I hope.
Wow. This is wild.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. It's nuts.
I feel like I haven't seen you in a million years. I know it's been like 3 weeks, but so much has happened.
Yeah, Mira and Phelan kissed, apparently.
Yeah, they did. I don't know what's happening with that. We're gonna have to find out, but oh boy. They're actually pretty great. It's just, I don't know. Things are weird. We'll figure it out when Mira gets back.
And how are you feeling, Aidy?
I've been better, but we don't have to.
Violet kind of folds her arms at that, and like, say more. Tell me more.
Did Mira tell you anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, consequences, I guess one could say. Consequences for actions. I didn't realize that playing cards was going to get all my friends almost killed, but we're okay now, mostly. So I'm grateful for that. Yeah, we've had a tough couple weeks, but it feels really, really good to have you back.
It's nice to be back, but you're not blaming yourself for that, right?
Me? Blaming
Aidy.
myself? Nah. Mira already scolded it out of me, so I'm trying not to. Easier said than done sometimes, but I'm trying.
And what are you trying?
Well, half the time, I'm just burying it real deep. Sort of, ignoring it, letting it fester, which is, a tactic. I don't know. Mira tells me to be gentle with myself or whatever, so I'm attempting.
I mean, you can, or we can just talk about it. Let's not be gentle. What are you feeling guilty about?
Oh, fuck, you're back, aren't you? Okay. Oh.
What you want to play cards to feel good because you didn't have time with your sister? You wanted to feel special? You wanted to feel seen? That's okay. I'm honestly kind of pissed that you felt like you needed that, Aidy.
Well, I mean, it was just a hobby, sort of. And then it got a little more intense.
Yeah, but Aidy, if I find it really hard that you don't see yourself the way that I see you, the way that other people see you. You don't need to be good at cards. You don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to have something special. You are already so special, Aidy. And that's what pisses me off about this whole thing. I can't believe you feel bad about wanting something for yourself when you're already so amazing.
I know I can want things, and I know that, and that's why I did it, because I wanted a thing for me, and so I did it, and it was good, and then it turned out to not be good, which I know isn't a reflection of me wanting to do it. It just happened to not be good. It's just that whole series of events, it led to this thing and to us getting ambushed and me doing some bad shit. And then Phelan almost died. Did Mira tell you that? Because that was bad.
But Aidy, none of that's in your control at all. You were reacting to a dangerous situation. It was fight or flight. You chose to save yourself, your friends, your sister. There was nothing you can do yeah, you can feel guilty for doing something. I'm going to say do something bad. You killed somebody. That's never a good feeling, but that's good that you feel bad about it. And Aidy, like, I'm not a hero. Like, I don't assume that you are one either, but you're not bad. We're somewhere in the middle, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And one of those things, the sequence of events that you're talking about is that, we got to meet because of those decisions.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah, we did. I'm better for it. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. And she'll give you another hug.
Stop feeling bad.
I know. I'm getting better about it. This helped. I appreciate it.
Good. Let's go find your sister.
Yeah. Do we, just wait for the bird? Or how does this work exactly?
I don't know. I think once my aunt has a trail, she'll come back and let us know. Or she'll just bring Mira back. I don't know. She's cool as hell.
Great. Oh, boy.
What are Sienna and Bren doing during all of this?
Crying. It's lightly sobbing.
Andrew saw you had makeup and, Ian, you have anything?
Yeah, so this from the time that Violet stepped in to this moment, Bryn is just completely transfixed with him, right? he hasn't said anything, one, because there's nothing to say, but he's noticed an immense change in Violet. Like, just not just like their outward appearance, but their demeanor, their confidence, like, and he's sitting there like he just watched his kid graduate college. It's that moment, and he's just there. He's this entire conversation, everything that came out of Violet's mouth was exactly what Bryn would say, would want to say, or has said, and he's just so happy to see her. And then he's even more happy to see her like this. This is miles away from the person we saw that left. And this is the best way Violet could have come back for him. And so it's more so what he's thinking. He doesn't say anything.
I catch that look in Bren's eye over Violet's shoulder during this second hug, and then I release her, spin her around, and push her towards you for a hug.
Yeah, absolutely. Give Jawline a hug.
Yeah, hugs, and like he hugs you, but then he like pushes you away, and he's checking your arms, and he looks behind you, and he kind of grabs your face on the cheeks, and he's like, then the checking grab goes to like the smooth head, the hair straighten, and he's like, you're okay. You're okay.
Yeah, I'm good. Really good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You look great. I was worried. I'm always going to worry, but you're okay. Yeah.
You look tired.
Yeah.
You okay?
Absolutely. Are you hungry? Like, are you hungry?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. How are you?
And then hugs you again. He's like, okay, I'm fine. All right. You look hungry. I'm gonna figure something out. And then just kind of shuffles away to do that.
Violet sees Sienna standing there.
Hi.
Hi. Mira
I don't
says
know how
you've
much.
been taking care of them all while I was away, which I really appreciate.
They make it hard. I'm sure you're aware. They get a little out of hand.
They're great, though. They're so fun.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played Truth or Dare yet?
No, everyone keeps talking about it. They already have some things they want to plumb Bren's mind about, but
No, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It helps pass the time when we're traveling.
Don't worry, we will get you to play Truth or Dare. It's going to happen.
is that a threat?
It is, yes. It's a threat, a promise, guarantee. Well, Sisk has been just the best. They got thrown into complete and utter shenaniganery and haven't run away screaming yet, so that's promising.
If it wasn't you, it would have been me, so glad it's not my fault this time. Well, I guess it kind of. The Naestromo bit, maybe a little bit, but they might have been coming here anyway.
They were coming anyway. Don't worry.
They're all over. It's hard to get away. But I'm glad you're with us. Have you seen the ship?
Yeah, it's very, very
Wild.
cool. How much has Mira told you about me, where I'm from?
Not a lot. That they met you at Brent's farm. You're really nice. You try to take care of everyone, make tea for everybody. That's that you have magic and powers like all of us.
Mm-hmm.
On the run.
Yeah. On the run.
Your name was on the same list as mine.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
Well, it might be big. I'm sure you've had a lot of big things, but maybe you might want to sit down. But so the ship is kind of where I'm from, and I don't know if you realize that the ship is not from the Imperium. So I might be able to help y'all navigate when
No
we
way.
cross the water.
Isn't that
So-
amazing?
You can read all of that writing and
Yeah,
oh, that's so cool.
everything. Yeah.
You weren't on that. You weren't a crew member, were you?
No, I've never seen that kind of thing though. That is nuts, but it makes sense where I'm from.
And where are you from? What's it called?
Oh boy. Well, I don't know. Mira's gonna miss this. You know, I haven't really talked with Mira about this either.
She can have the abridged version later. Don't worry.
I don't want to risk that. I don't trust that right now. That seems a little.
We can keep a little mystery.
Yeah. Do you know what a continent is?
Do
Some
we?
Landmass?
Like,
The term is weird. It doesn't sound quite right in your minds.
So imagine a very, very, very large landmass, like several imperiums all smushed together, and that's a continent. So I'm from a continent called Ysterra, and there are so many exciting things. I'm so excited to show you. Hopefully, we'll get that ship in the air. That's the first thing. Well, first thing's get Mira. Second thing, ship in the air. Third thing, navigate. Fourth thing, explore.
Well,
Probably.
Thanks
so
for-
easy when you say it like that.
If only Mira's
actionable
list
steps.
was that short.
Yeah. I'm not the big planning thinker, but
Thanks for staying with us and sticking with us.
yeah, I want to get out of here as much as the next person. So, yeah, more surprises to come. I'm excited to learn about you. I've heard lots about you. I'm
All
very
good
happy that
things.
you're back. Yeah, only good things. And
It's
it's
really-
been far
really
long
nice.
enough that even the bad things are like, oh, endearing, kind of thing.
Oh. Thanks, I think.
Okay. Well, if we want to get Mira soon, should we collect bread? Or do you want to
So I
talk
got an
some
apple
more?
turnover, and there's like this peach thing, and then there's some old coffee that I got from Tig, but it's like a couple of days or something. Is
Apple turnover sounds incredible. I'll have
okay.
that.
There you go. It's okay. You've been fed. Okay.
So I'm just going to intercede here with a little bit of narrative stuff. So about an hour goes by between the point at which you all saw Ren leave, and you hear a violent thud land outside of the door. Before you can really react, the door opens, and bursting through the door is a man wearing gray, red, and white attire, violently flung through the door and sent tumbling down upon the floor. You can see that he is mostly incoherent. His arms have been tied behind his back, and he has an immense bruise on his face with blood dripping down the side of his face. And standing in the doorway, you see Ren. You can see that she has a little bit of injury upon her as well. There's a scorch mark on one of her arms, like in the shoulder area, that has definitely marred her clothes, and she seems a little bit more pissed about that than perhaps the physical injury that came from it. But she stands in the door and she looks at the four of you and says, "So I know where your sister is, and apparently so does this asshat. And yeah." As you all stand there kind of staring at this man, some things are discussed. You come to the realization that he is a member of the clergy, and very likely one of the Naestromo themselves. Ren proceeds to inform you that Mira is apparently in one of the star-wrought towers, which is, there's 4 such towers at Occam, which, you know, Occam is not where your sister was going, but it is adjacent and connected, so somehow she ended up there. And she indicates that she's in the northern tower. The northern tower stands out particularly to Violet and Aidy because that's the tower that all of you climbed when you observed the meteor shower. But because I don't particularly care for scenes that involve things like, you know, torturous events and interrogations and the like, we're going to hand wave through that a little bit. And you're going to get information out of this Naestromo fellow that indicates that your sister ostensibly is being held in one of the subsections of the tower. Ren indicates that Lyra tracked using magic to the tower itself, and the Naestromo seems scaredly confident that the person that he was responsible for helping to interrogate fits what you're asking in regards to Mira, you know, person with gifts and the like. And you have a distinct sense that through all of the discussions that the Naestromo are invariably pressing Occam and seemingly going after students there. Apparently also some of the teachers as well. After perhaps 20 minutes or so of interrogating this individual, there's really not much left to be said, and Ren proceeds to drag him by his feet after knocking him unconscious with her own foot, dragging him out of the house, and she indicates to you that she knows a place where she can dispose of him. She's probably not going to be much good going into Occam anyway, because any magical protections that they have are assuredly going to alert to her presence. And so she proceeds to go to dispose of the body. The 4 of you quickly discuss amongst yourselves that, of course, now would be the most opportune time, given the least number of people present at Occam, the late hour, the cover of night, and the like. And you all proceed to gather your belongings and head towards the illuminated heart to try to make your way to rescue Mira. As you do this, I'm curious if there's any special preparations, special abilities, spells, and the like that you all would bring to the fore to aid you in infiltrating the university.
I'd like to prepare my spell, gun.
I want to go to Bren and say, so you're a human, so you can't see in the dark, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So when we are at the ship, I was able to take some scrap and I put together this. I'm going to hand you some goggles of night. So this is going to be one of my artificer infusions.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
What does
and
he
you
look
can
like
add
when he puts them on?
you can add
I think
goggles
that's
of night to your inventory. Yeah, what do these particular goggles look like? Please tell me that they are giant steampunk with, one red lens
tell
and
me
one
the-
blue lens.
Tell me they're bifocals, please.
Yes.
Come on.
Perfect.
It's just a
reading
monocle.
glasses. Reading
Yeah,
glasses.
got his
keep me
cheaters
reading
on.
at night.
These are great. Wow. Wow.
Oh no.
I might
Anything
keep
else?
these on all the time.
Anything else besides the goggles of night that you all bring to the fore in doing this?
Aidy will, when they get a lot closer, she'll cast Disguise Self on herself, and just make her look like a student, whether it's someone that she's seen in passing or not, whatever, but like wearing a sweater that has like, a little Occam emblem on it or something.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Oh God. Just straight intelligence.
Straight intelligence.
I'm so smart. This is going to be great. 12?
First person that comes to mind is Victoria. That's the one that you know well enough to be able to disguise yourself to look like an appropriate student.
I think the question is, do I want my sister to punch me in the face as soon as she sees me or not?
I mean, you've been asking her to be mean to you for all the trouble that you've gotten everyone into, so.
That is true. That is true. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'll turn into Victoria. That sounds great.
Nice. Andrew, anything from Violet to help in the aid of the infiltration?
Nope. I don't think she has very much. Just herself, cloak of
Other than
daggers.
her innate stealthy amazingness.
She doesn't wear her hood though.
All right. As you all proceed on to Occam, it does take you a little while to get there. You're blown away by how fast Ren apparently is able to move, but Violet kind of brushes it off as, yeah, that's just, how awesome my aunt is. And eventually, perhaps almost an hour-ish later, you do find yourselves on the grounds of the university once again. And thanks to Violet's previous endeavors in breaking into the university, following much the same route that Violet led Aidy and Mira on so many days ago when you all saw the meteor shower, you were able to make your way to the northern tower successfully. As soon as you get onto the grounds of the university, you do see Lyra flying overhead just above you. Violet comes to know that means that Ren is nearby, probably watching from a safe distance just to keep an eye. Maybe cavalry should it become necessary. But the four of you are more or less on your own. Give me a group stealth check, please.
I would like to give Bren a bardic inspiration if I could.
Sure.
Aha!
Thank you. That's a D6, yeah?
Yes, D6, sorry.
It's a natural 20 for 25.
Sweet.
It's a natural
Okay.
20 for 30.
Okay. I got 13. We'll keep that.
And what did Bran
I
get?
got 19.
19.
19.
Rolled a 19, got a 19?
Rolled a 19, got a 19. Rolled a 19, got a 20.
There you go. Okay.
Oh,
Brilliant.
I'm just so happy that it's not a 3.
No. Amazing. You all deftly make your way across the University of Occam. It is difficult to see for probably Violet more so than anyone else. It's almost like a wasteland. Normally, even in the middle of the night, you're going to see people moving periodically. You're going to see lights on in various laboratories or classrooms from students or professors facilitating experiments or people studying late into the night. It is dark and bleak here. There is a foreboding that comes with every step that you take through the halls of this place. Your footfalls, barely noticeable for the most part, feel like that they would echo in the emptiness of the halls if you were not being so careful. The trepidation at what is transpiring here is palpable for all of you, and perhaps for Aidy, there is a distinct sense of dread at what might have happened to Mira in a place such as this that she once coveted as home in so many ways. You make your way to the northern tower, as was indicated, and thanks to the interrogations of the Naestromo from before, you know that there is a chamber just one floor up from the base level where the girl is being held. As you make your way through the halls and towards the stairs that would lead you up, you see a pair of individuals standing at the doorway to what was described to you as this chamber. One of them appears to be just casually chatting with the other. They wear much similar attire to the man that you had interrogated before, and they're just having a casual conversation. It wraps up relatively quickly, an arm pat on a shoulder, and one of them moves off down the hall, away from you, leaving the other one standing guard. He yawns immensely and leans his back up against the door itself, standing there with crossed arms, his head slightly nodded. His eyes are closed somewhat, but he's not necessarily asleep. He's just resting, perhaps. You have this opportunity to surprise him, take him out quickly. Who do you think would jump on that opportunity fastest?
I'd go for it.
And how is it that Sisk deals with this individual?
I think the neck is a favorite right now. I'll use my psychic blade, and I will start slow enough that he'll wake up.
Okay. Sneaking forward and summoning your psychic blades into your hand, his eyes drift open and look towards you just in time for the pair of violet, or I'm sorry, what color were they again?
I think they were like a purple or something.
Purplish, yeah.
Someone can check me later.
Yeah, as these psychic blades sink into their form, they draw no blood. There is no physical wound, but you can almost hear a blood vessel pop in his mind as you drag him to the ground with your blades buried into him. The thud hits the ground, barely audible, but you do hear a voice from inside the room call out saying, "Who's there?" It's hard to hear entirely. The thickness of the door is slightly muffled, or slightly muffles the voice. Doesn't come through and in its entirety just yet. You swing open the door, and as you do, you see another person standing feet back away from it. Not who you thought you might see. Certainly not Mira. Myriad, could you please do me a favor and describe the individual that Sisk sees as they open the door?
You will see a rather small woman, probably around 5'2". Her skin is a pale blue, and her hair is a navy that is sort of cropped short with bangs that come to a point on her forehead. Her eyes are probably one of the most interesting things about her, despite the fact that she is indeed blue. They are a pearlescent pink. And something else you note about her are these little slits all along her body. And she is dressed in sort of a gauzy dress that is dirty and sullen from being, you would assume, locked away in this room.
The rest of you standing just down the corridor see Sisk standing there, having opened the door and looking in, and now just standing upright, gawking, safe to say.
Hello?
Okay, I can't hear you.
Hello?
Hey.
That's not.
I'm not who you were looking for, am I?
The others
At that
come.
point,
The
I
others
guess-
come around
yeah.
into view. All of you standing at the doorway. One of you, I don't really. I'll leave it up to you to figure out who. One of you has the wherewithal to know that you can't just be standing here with yourselves in the hallway and the body upon the floor. And so you all move into the room quickly, dragging the body in behind you.
A body.
Yeah, sorry about that. Are you okay?
Physically, kind of. Mentally, sort of. Spiritually, yes.
That is fair.
Emotionally?
Emotionally, I am in distress. Yes.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Who are
Brent
you?
kind of peeks out the door real quick to see if there's any commotion, in the background.
So far, nothing.
What's your name?
She's gonna stand up and give a little polite bow. Oriana.
Okay.
You
I'm Violet.
Violet, huh?
Yeah, I'm 80.
Beth, go ahead and give me a history check, please. Myriad, go ahead and do the same.
Oh boy.
It was almost a
I'm gonna use
natural
my-
one, so it could have been worse.
Hang on.
17.
Okay,
Okay, natural 20 for 22.
nice. I also realized just now, Miri, that I forgot to send you our DD Dice link so that your dice rolls can pop up on screen.
Okay.
If Ian, perhaps you could send that to. Thank you, Kay. Kay got it.
Yeah, I
Kay
was gonna say,
popped
you
it
don't
in
want my
the-
link.
Kay popped it in the video chat for you.
Ian's link is cursed, anyways. So
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
mine's
true.
all
Stay away.
messed up. You
Stay
don't
away
want
from
mine.
Ian's DD. And I'm sorry, Miri. What was Oriana's total?
17.
Okay, with a 17, I would say that Oriana kind of recognizes Aidy, as if she's seen Aidy before, but not. There's something. There's
Aidy
something
still
different.
in her disguise as the other.
Oh, that's
So-
right.
No.
80 is disguised, so that doesn't work. You weren't. Then you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have rolled. I'm sorry. That was my mistake. I'm sorry.
Perhaps though, when I said hi, I'm 80, I think I would have dropped it
Okay, fair
at
enough.
that point.
Sure.
You know.
So with the dropping of the disguise, I'll say that there's a familiarity to 80 that you can't quite place. And 80 recognizes the name Oriana and recognizes a girl that matches this description that her sister has talked about on occasion as another student here at the school, and someone that Mira not idolizes, but kind of looks up to for being one of the better students at the school. And then after a few moments, Miri, it clicks. You have seen her before, but not her. You saw someone that looked very much like her as you were being escorted out of the room in the upper levels of the tower.
I think Oriana's going to sort of stare a little bit hard at Aidy, and it's a little unnerving because she doesn't blink as she does so. You're familiar, but you're not.
You know
I
my
saw you.
sister.
Sister.
Yeah, Mira. Mira Tavish.
She was being led. Taken.
Was she okay?
She appeared so, for now at least.
Who had her? Who was she with?
The Naestromo? I believe they took a lot of us. They've been questioning a lot of us, I believe. Looking for their cursed.
Oh gosh. Okay. Do you need to get out of here?
I think Oriana sort of like looks. Yes, I think that I would like that very much. You know, I feel like I've dreamt of this before.
Oh.
Not the bad parts, this good part here right now.
Okay.
Meeting you all.
We should really get going.
Yeah.
Still looking out like at the door. We should, yeah.
So you said they took her up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Would you come with us while we go to get her, and then we'll hopefully
yes.
get her quickly?
Sure.
Beth,
Okay.
as Aidy is interacting with Oriana and is so close, and having an insane passive perception of 21, she notices on Oriana's neck where one of these strange slits are in her body. It briefly flutters open, revealing an eye, and then closes very quickly. The rest of you don't see this. You don't have a high enough perception, but given Aidy's proximity and her crazy passive perception, she would notice.
So Sisk has definitely was caught off guard. And as I think has been staring a little bit much. Has Sisk seen someone like this before?
I don't think so.
No. Oh. Well, okay. I'm sorry for staring. I'm not usually like this, and I'm gonna go into my my regular blue person form, and I'm Sisk. So again, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for staring.
You're also blue.
Yes. I don't know if I've ever seen another blue person.
This is my first time as well.
Oh, we could start a group. Okay.
Members.
Brent spins around and goes, "This is very nice, and I'm so happy we're meeting friends. We should really go."
Okay.
Yes.
Just so you guys know, Kurt has gloriously decided to give all of you an advantage.
Thank
And
you,
also,
Kurt.
because you were waiting in the wings, Miri, I will go ahead and retroactively give you an extra advantage from
Thanks.
Varl's donation of bits earlier, so you have 2 right.
Thank you.
I think Violet has 4?
Yeah. Killer.
We're sneaking this, so I don't know if I need them.
You're not if you keep rolling natural 20s.
Hey,
But we're sneaking, so
But yes, the four of you stand there for a moment with Oriana. There's a little bit, I would say, oddity about their demeanor. It's not quite easy to place, but you also can fairly plainly see, for those of you that have good insight, sorry Kay, that Ori has been through some things, and so there's probably some trauma that's happening right now that they're dealing with, so maybe that's the cause of it. We'll see.
Miri, what's the prominent emotion that Oriana is feeling right now?
I think it's a lot of confusion.
Sure.
And a little bit of heartbreak. When you would probably had first seen her, she had looked scared and kind of like an animal probably cowering when the door opened. But as she's talking to you all, there's a little bit more of confusion now, confusion as to what's going on and, well, how are you guys here? What are you doing here? Sort of things, sort of vibe.
I think knowing that she's feeling especially confused as they're making their way out the door, because Bren has been hinting at us, I'll just look back to Oriana. My sister didn't show up home when she said she would, so we got worried, found out she was here. We're just here to get her out, I guess. I'm glad we can do the same for you. And if there's anyone else here, I mean...
Anyone else?
We're just gonna go door to door. It's not a big deal, Bren.
Yeah, but I don't have time for that.
And yeah, I guess following Bren out and up.
Me with my Golden Girl glasses.
As you all step into the hall, it occurs to you, Oriana, that you don't have any of your possessions. You don't have your spell book. You don't have a wand. You don't have any of your things that would allow you to use your very well-trained magic. And so you realize that you probably need to keep a lookout on that. Would you mention that to anyone, perhaps?
I think I'd kind of saddle up next to Aidy. They took my things, my spell book. They took my spell book, and I greatly need that, especially if I am to be any of assistance to you. So perhaps if we're able, and she'll kind of look nervously at Bren, perhaps we might find it on our way.
Yeah. We'll look, Bren. We'll look.
Even just a wand would allow you to cast spells that you have in your memory. So that would at least be something.
Yeah, we'll try to find it, and in the meantime, we've got your back.
I will assist in any way I can. And you look at her, and she is small and has no muscle tone. So you can't imagine that it's going to be a lot.
Violet will hand you a dagger.
Nice.
She holds it kind of out, unfamiliar with how to work a blade.
You're holding it the right way. Pointy end out.
Pointy end out, yes.
Pointy.
Yep.
Okay.
As you
the hallway we're in, Miko, how does it split? Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
Sorry,
I think you were gonna tell me.
Yeah, I was about to answer your question before you asked it. As you proceed down the hallway, Oriana has a very practiced memory of this place. It is well known to her, and it takes no trouble whatsoever, no effort rather whatsoever, for her to be able to guide you through the halls. As you move through the halls, I need a stealth check from Miri, or from Oriana, please, to add to everyone else's amazing stealth rolls from before. Don't mess it up.
10 plus 12.
Okay. 12 total. She's not the sneakiest of individuals.
I imagine she doesn't have shoes on, so you just kind of hear her bare feet, sort of that bare foot clap against the floor.
Yes. Many of in the towers particularly, many of the floors are marble. And so, yeah, it creates some noise. But you're able to try to assist in masking it well enough. And as you proceed forward, all of you are keenly aware of just how silent the halls are. Oriana's footfalls are loud by comparison to the silence of this place. You don't think that they're probably heard too far distant. You do feel like she's trying her best to keep quiet. It's more so the nature of everything surrounding you and just how oppressive it all is. I need for all of you to please roll wisdom saving throws.
That's just rude. I'm going to use my other advantage, I think.
Use them if you got them.
I'm gonna use one. We'll see how that goes. Oh, that's a nat 20 now. Woo!
I used two of them. And
Saw
I got
a lot 13. Of dice thrown out. So. Did anyone get below a 14?
Yep. That was an 11 for me.
Everyone else got above?
Yeah.
Andrew, did you say 14?
13.
13. Oh, barely. You barely failed it. So Aidy and Violet feel it the most. And it kind of makes sense for Aidy because of her inherent emotional connection to the world. You both can feel the fear that is permeating this place. The rest of you feel it too. You're just able to kind of fight it back a little bit more, and you have your own reasons for ignoring it that are entirely up to you. It's not something that you want to think about, so you kind of push it out of your minds. But for Violet and Aidy, you feel it penetrate into your psyches. You feel it all into you. There is a presence here. Something is wrong with this place. Something has been done to this place to instill this fear in everyone that exists here. And as you move through, particularly for Violet, you find yourselves occasionally stepping into pockets where you move past a doorway and all of a sudden you can't feel your magic anymore. And then you take a couple of more steps and it comes back. And then you pass down a different hallway as you are making your way slowly up this tower, stairwell after stairwell, hallway after hallway, passing doors closed, some open. And you realize, Violet, that there are places here that don't allow connection to magic. You know that that's wrong, that shouldn't be. And as you glance to Oriana and ask what that might be, Oriana informs you that they've been setting up pockets to keep people where they won't be able to use any of their gifts.
I'll reach out and grab Aidy's hand and kind of give it a squeeze. This doesn't feel right.
No, I don't like this.
Can you feel your sister at all?
Good question. Can I?
You cannot. You know that you should be able to, and you
Yeah.
cannot. And that might instill even more fear.
Yeah,
within
for
you.
sure.
Just so you both know, you both have the frightened condition right now.
Dang it. Okay. Yeah, it definitely freaks me out. I will project that fear and worry through the bond, hoping that even though I can't feel her, maybe she could feel me. And I know that doesn't make sense, but I do it anyways. And yeah, it doesn't feel right.
Ariana, do you know what's causing this?
I believe they're setting up some sort of ward of some kind. I'm not really sure how it works. They're just so that we wouldn't be able to cast spells or defend ourselves in any way while they were keeping us.
What did they ask of you? What did they want?
Well, I think you would classify it as an interrogation of sorts. They used divination spells. They were trying to, I don't know, forbidden groups. The curse. They were trying to figure out if any of us or if we knew of anyone.
Oh. I'm sorry. That's kind of awful. Shit. We need to find Mira, now.
I don't know where to start.
You know, up is the only direction that you have at the moment.
Yeah.
When Oriana
So
had described things to you previously, she had indicated that that Mira was being led into the room as she was being led out, and that was towards the top of the tower.
Do I get a sense that that's where my source of fear is coming from?
Your source of fear is permeating from everywhere. It's from the very walls of this place. It's almost, well, anyone that is proficient in religion could roll a religion check. Half proficiency technically would count, okay? You're muted.
Look, half proficiency never gets to count.
Well, I'm a good GM. Or at least an okay
You're
one.
okay.
Okay, I got a 15.
I saw
I got a
Bren roll.
17.
Okay. 17 is sufficient. With the 15, I'll say that you would understand that this is the kind of power that requires someone capable of calling upon the Ascendant to invoke. Ian, Bren would know that they have hallowed this place and probably invoked tenets associated to Ascendant that are not Orlumis, which you know that these halls were created by followers of Orlumis. And this university and the temple that it is connected to are both dedicated to Orlumis. In fact, they are the largest institutions that you know of in the world dedicated to Orlumis. And they are using this hallowed power to vile purpose. From your perspective, you are certain, as you know the clergy, from their perspective, they're doing the right thing. From their perspective, this is deigned to happen. But you know it's not right.
We we need to quicken pace. This is yeah, we need to keep going. We need to move faster.
Yeah.
Foregoing some of the attempt at being quiet, you quicken your pace. Brianna leads you down a few more corridors, up a few more stairwells. Most of you are able to keep sense and know where you have traveled. You're not lost per se, but the place does start to feel a little bit like a labyrinth. As you pass by one particular room, you see a laboratory of some kind. You see alchemy supplies set up in various stations. You see a few arcana tables and some books cast around, probably some type of spell-wrought creation happening here usually. The candles are lit, but you can tell fairly quickly from, and this is Aidy that's seeing this, you can tell fairly quickly that the candles themselves are probably magical and don't ever go out. And as you glance into the room and see this laboratory as you move past, you see on a nearby table a wand and an orb sitting on the table.
Oh, Oriana.
Hmm?
There's a wand in there.
Oh.
As
Can I
As she points it out, Oriana can see quite clearly the obvious arcanist's workshop with all manner of wizardly accessory strewn throughout, and right there on one of the tables where someone probably was working on creating a new spell or learning a spell, you see a wand sitting next to a small crystalline orb, both of which you would be able to use to cast your magic.
I'm gonna kind of very slowly walk in, just kind of peeking around. And then I'm gonna make my way to the table and I'm gonna pick up the wand. I'm gonna give it a few whacks.
You give a
It's
few
palm of my
whacks. It's a decent wand. It's not your wand, so it doesn't feel quite right in your hand. But
Hold it weird.
yeah, you have cantrips, like a light cantrip, something simple like that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think so.
You use the wand and flick a few times and create a burst of light on the end, and it sparks and fizzles for a second as you get kind of accustomed to the nature
Calibrating it.
the nature of this particular wand, but eventually you do get a strong enough feel for it.
I kind of hold it up triumphantly to the group as I make my way back to them.
Do me a favor before you make your way back and just roll a d20 and tell me the result, please.
I don't like
this.
A 6.
Hey, I will message you and tell you what the result of that is.
Oh.
What does that mean?
Roll a sleight of hand check as well.
God.
Oh, even worse.
They stole 6 wands.
4.
Okay. You all notice quite clearly as she's doing this magic that her attention keeps being drawn to the crystalline orb. And as she turns to walk away, her free hand just kind of reaches out and scoops it up and drops it into a pocket.
I mean, cool orb. I'm
Hey.
not saying anything.
Do you think like
It's not mine. I don't give a fuck.
I don't know what to do with it.
I like that you guys support theft.
Is there more
Well,
stuff to
hold
steal
on.
in there?
wait a minute?
No, we do. We do.
Well, I'm like, does it seem to be like a place where they're storing things? Could I look in there to see if there's Mira's things in there?
Are you proficient in Arcana, Andrew?
Yes.
You are?
Yep.
Brilliant. You look around the room and you see a literal treasure vault of arcana supplies. Like shelves and racks and drawers and glass cases that have all manner of things that anyone of arcanic magic would utilize.
I open up my bag of holding and I just...
That's incredible.
Make a note of that.
I've never been part of a crime before.
Well,
I mean, hang on. Are you purposefully lying? Because you've hidden your identity from people for decades, so technically that's a crime.
You've also been a victim. You're a victim of a crime. I think that counts as being involved.
Yeah, that's true too. That's true too.
You're part of a crew now. The first thing you have to do is come up with a nickname. You know, Jawline's his jawline. Obviously, look at his jawline. It's beautiful.
Oh.
If you
Nice.
find
You
yourself
mute?
feeling... Is that the trick?
No,
So if you're feeling anxious or worried, you know, just kind of think about what you want us to all call you and distract yourself a little bit.
Think of a nickname. Never named anything before. Okay. I'll think of one.
All right, we gotta go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aidy has been
Are we done
standing
shopping?
standing at the door, just like tapping her foot.
But as they're all leaving again, and she sees Oriana has this wand, looking perhaps a little bit more confident now that, you know, she's got something that she needs. I think she would just say, my sister always spoke so highly of you. Like she really admired your work. So just yeah, I just wanted you to know that.
I think like there's a little flutter in Oriana's chest. That is really nice to hear, actually. My studies mean a lot to me, so.
Yeah. Well, come on, let's get you out of here.
Going.
So as you proceed forward, you guys, the two of you that had failed your fear saves before, you could make another wisdom save. DC is harder now. It's 16. See if you can shake off the fear.
I still scared.
Okay.
Yeah, it's scary in here.
Using up those advantages, Andrew.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think I've used them all.
Nice.
Welcome
4
back,
to
buddy.
0, just like that.
It's a gambling.
Yep.
Well, just be careful. We know where that gets you.
Well, you still feel that that oppressive, fear-inducing aspect of this place. You head up a few more flights of stairs, moving around corners, and as you move higher up, you now are able to occasionally spot signs of the Naestromo. You have to take different paths as you see individuals leaning up against doors in various hallways, just like the one that Oriana had been trapped in. Varl has gifted you another advantage, Andrew. Thank you, Varl.
Thank you.
As you avoid these Naestromo, it's now happening every level. You see another one. You see, perhaps, cumulatively, don't rub up against that cat. Cumulatively, as you make your way fully to the top, probably 10 more rooms where someone is standing guard outside of it. A little bit concerning, to say the least. But as you make your way closer and closer to the top, as Oriana indicates to you we're almost there. You look down a hallway where you see a gathering of these individuals. You see 3 of them standing towards the end of this hall. Oriana points out to you, it's down beside them. And amongst these individuals, you see one in particular that stands out to you. A tall man wearing fine silken clothes, robes with the black and the red. The other 2 are obviously deferring to him. At the end of this corridor, probably 50 feet down from you, you can hear remnants of their conversation, them speaking in hushed tones, and you hear one of the others describing to this man, "Oh yeah, she's tough. She's a fighter. She'll probably be out for a couple of hours at this point, but we're wearing her down. We'll get everything out of her soon." Aidy. You know that they're talking about Mira. A sense of rage fills you. Your vision starts going a little bit red. The rest of you see Aidy step out into the hallway and start walking towards them. Would anyone stop her?
100% grab her.
Go ahead and make an athletics check, opposed, Beth, by a acrobatics check. Or athletics, whichever's higher, but I'm pretty sure it's your acrobatics.
Yeah. Can you beat an 11?
History says no, but we'll see.
History does say no.
Yes.
How many advantages do you have left?
2? 2, I think.
You only had 2 total.
Nah, I had one from the last time.
Okay.
1.
So 3.
1 now.
Down
We're just
to
going to
1?
go with that.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to go with 1.
All right. Bren grabs onto Aidy and yanks her back. And I get to make a perception check here to see if they perhaps notice. There's no outward signs of alert that you can see as Bren pulls Aidy back, mouth over hand. Aidy is struggling underneath of Bren's grip.
She's looking at you with like pure rage in her eyes.
Hey, that's not smart. I get it, but that's not smart.
You could choose to make a wisdom saving throw if you wish to fight this off, or you can choose to fail. It's entirely up to you. Whatever you think would be appropriate for Aidy right now.
That's a terrible question.
I think it's a brilliant question.
Killed twice.
I'm gonna drop a quick mind link to this youngin' real quick and just go, "What are you doing? What the hell? Why would you just run out there like that?"
Okay, Bren, make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
That's a 16.
All right. Bren is immediately crushed by a wave of powerful, raged emotions surging through that mind link. His vision begins to cloud red for a moment. What's 80 spell save DC? It's not higher than 16,
15.
right? Yeah. And he is able to grit his teeth and blink through it, but he feels what 80 is feeling right now.
It's like left eye is just. You really gotta calm it down.
And we're mind linked.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So through the mind link, she's in there right now, And she's unconscious. She's not. We have to go now. What are you doing?
I understand that, but if you keep projecting this rage to me, I'm going to snap your arm. You need to stop.
I can't do anything about it. Can we just fucking do something?
Squeezes tighter. I really need you to stop because my anger is with you.
She does her fucking best to chill out a little bit. Holy shit, Miko.
It's a death trap in here. Just saying.
Oh, God.
Damn it, he keeps walking on my keyboard too when he does that.
Aidy will take a breath. She's still really pissed, but I think Bren would maybe feel a little relief from that.
Yeah, and he like loosens his grip and he's like, okay, whew. All right, verbally, sorry. Yeah, she's in there, but we can't go just storming in. Come on. There's wards all around this place. Obviously, it's messing with people here with abilities. What are you gonna do?
What are we gonna do? What can we do together?
Yeah, we're taking this point right now. He looks at Oriana. What can you do?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news in terms of my own abilities. I studied divination, like the stars and that kind of thing. If you want me to tell your future, I can.
Damn it.
How do we fare in this fight?
I think like Oriana's like eyes sort of glaze over a little bit. And then she comes back to.
Are you using your gifts of divination?
Yeah.
Okay. Given that your magical disguise that you normally use to cover your eyes that are extra upon your body when you're at school has been long since dispelled, and you have to, get your spell book back in order to redo that. All of you can now see a couple of eyes open on Oriana's body. She does this. Go ahead and make we'll call it a spellcaster ability check, please.
That's so fucking cool.
I know.
That's fucking sick.
Should I use my modifier to that?
Yeah, so it's your intelligence modifier, and technically your proficiency as well.
So that's going to be 18 total.
18 total, brilliant. As your eyes turn white and you invoke the divination arcana that is inherent to you and enhanced by your practiced understanding of the arcane world, you see a vision of the stars above, and you see a series of shooting stars flying across the sky, one after the other after the other. And at first you start to think that this means wheel, that this is beneficial, that this is what you must do. Then you see a few reds mix in to those shooting stars as well. But you know that while this is something that you must do, it is fraught with danger.
As the eyes sort of open up on Oriana's body, you see her sort of go like slack-jawed as well for a moment. And then she sort of blinks and her eyes are back to normal and the eyes on her body have closed. I think it goes without saying that we must do what we have to, but to tread carefully.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Do create a distraction? Do we try to take them all out at once? I mean, they're Naestromo. It's not like...
Is there a way
You
to
want a
break
distraction?
the wards?
I don't know.
Ariana, do you know?
You're talking a little quiet there, Andrew. What did you say?
Oh, is there a way to break the wards?
Me and Arcana check. I'll say that you can assist Oriana since Violet was asking Oriana. So, Oriana, you can roll with advantage an Arcana check.
Okay.
You didn't need to roll, Andrew. I mean, you should have rolled because you rolled better than the 2 4s that Miri rolled. But...
I'm gonna use my last advantage.
Okay.
To, like, re-roll that. Okay, 24.
Nice. Nice. Technically, you would have only rolled 1 dice there, but it's fine. I'll let you keep the 17. The wards that are in place here are very complicated, and if you have Dispel Magic, you could attempt to undo some of them, at least temporarily. Aw, Varl coming in hot with another advantage for you.
Thanks, Varl.
We winning tonight.
Does Ori have Dispel Magic prepared right now in her mind?
I do not think so, no.
Okay.
Can I rummage through to find a scroll from all the stuff that I stole from the other room?
If you want to spend the next 20 minutes trying to catalog.
Damn it.
You think to yourself, scroll of Dispel Magic. You reach into the bag of holding and you pull out an empty hand.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
I have detect magic.
Ooh.
Would I be able to detect where these wards sort of are so we know where the areas to avoid?
Sure, that would be a brilliant use of detect magic because you could see the voids.
The absence of magic,
Exactly.
Yeah.
And not
I'm
just the
going
absence
to-
of magic, you would see like your vision being what it is. Yes, you could do this. So, what does this detect magic look like as Oriana invokes it?
I think she brings the wand up and it almost holds it like it's a prayer and she whispers into it. And you'll see sort of a very brief kind of flutter of magic come from the tip of the wand. And as it sort of spreads out, it becomes almost invisible to the eye, the naked eye, except for hers, as it sort of spreads in an aura around her.
Sure. Yes, so as you're looking down the hall, you peek just around the corner to kind of see, and you see that the door that they're standing next to that you were escorted out of when you were being interrogated earlier in the day, that was, 8 hours ago at this point. But you know that there's an area kind of permeating off of that door that indicates that would be devoid of magic, like an anti-magic type field. And the rest of this space, you can see an abhorrent transmutation that has occurred across the floors and the walls, and you can almost see the tendrils of arcana that are being forced into the building itself, which you know is the source of the fear that you have been successfully keeping at bay.
Okay, so we only really have to, the hallway seems clear for us to, if we need to engage, but it's beyond the door that is the issue.
Right. It's into that room that you believe Mira to be in that's the issue.
Yeah. I'm going to whisper to the party. We should be okay in this hallway, specifically to Violet. We should be okay in this hallway. However, it seems that the wards are primarily affecting the room that we think Mira is in. So if we wish to find her and rescue her, I suggest we take care of what we need to take care of out here.
Okay. So we could try to create a diversion and lure someone away. And maybe try to pick them off. Or we could just all go in with magic at the same time and hope for the best. I don't know.
Or I have an idea. Oriana, you're not in your room right now. And the guy down there is knocked out and he needs help.
Oh, no, he's dead. Oh,
That's
no, you're
even better.
doing a ruse. Okay. Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
That guy is way dead.
Yeah.
He
Shit.
had an aneurysm and is probably in a better place now.
Yeah. That's enough for them to go looking for you.
Should I? Am I the distraction?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're just the reason. Okay, here is the thing. I'll go. And I'll tell them that one of the people is out of their rooms. And there's one of the people down there and they look to be dead and they need help. Get them away from the door. But then that leaves us this much time to go in there and get her.
But can't they
Or
just come in there and get us?
not if they're not by it and if we're quick.
What if a couple of us stay outside of the door so that we can provide a barrier of sorts? While
Right.
So distraction then. That's what we're
Distraction.
doing.
There's the distraction. Here's the thing
Okay.
too, even if we ask, because I thought about this as well. Thank you, Chad. Sisk, even if you disguised yourself as one of them, right? Who's to say the closer you get to that door, the less you can hold it? We need something that's potentially non-magical to get them away. Or at least in the hallway.
What if Sisk, you make yourself look like them, stand at the end of the hallway and say, one of them escaped and one of us is dead or whatever.
Yeah, I can absolutely start leading them on a goose chase. And since we came up, I could hopefully reliably avoid those areas where the magic is prevented, just to be safe. But
Solid. It's something. It's better than what we had a second ago.
Okay.
Myriad,
Oh,
could
worst
you
comes-
please roll for me a wisdom check?
not great. 7?
Perfect.
You do have the one new advantage, right?
I do. You know what? I don't want to use my portents. I'll just use the advantage. Okay, 19.
19. Nice. It occurs to Oriana as this is being discussed that some of these individuals, you're not sure if it's one of these men because you don't recognize them per se as ones that had interrogated you before, but some of these individuals seem to have an ability to cut through untruths. They have, for all intents and purposes, the ability to detect lies. And it's almost impossible to speak lies in some of their presences. Now, you know, because of your understanding of magic, being very proficient in Arcana as you are, that there's usually a range attached to that. So as long as someone is doing it from far enough away, it might be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
that would
know the range that they would have to be.
approximately 20 feet.
Okay.
And
If
also,
you,
Varl gave you another advantage.
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna.
Thank you,
Be a
Varl.
gem.
Varl be a gem.
I'm gonna look to Sisk. If you choose to lie to them, make sure you do it from about 20 or feet away. More than 20 feet away. They have this ability that sort of prevents people from lying to them, which is why they're fairly good interrogators, to be honest. It actually really makes sense.
Can you skirt the truth? So
Yeah,
if I
but
said he's really badly hurt, that's true. Technically.
You tried your best to skirt the truth before, and you were mildly successful every now and then, but even you couldn't completely obfuscate your
the time.
lies.
Okay,
It's
so
not
really-
something I would risk.
Okay.
Miko, is this a thing that it's just more so verbalized, right? Kind of like this is their magical lie detector, or is it can they also see through untruths that may not be verbal, but also potentially physical?
If you push Oriana on that a little bit, she would also inform you that they were able to see through her illusion that she has been using for decades to fool people.
Okay, so
did-
that's a huge risk. I mean,
I did to get close to the Naestromo when I was before I met up with the group. Do I know what did I just not maybe run into someone with that ability to see through, or is mine a little different?
You know that there are certain ranks of Inquisitor that possess that trait, but it's usually something that they have to keep active. They have magical items and the like that bestow that upon them.
Okay, so I'm confident at least that I can play keep away with myself.
You are a
And-
fairly practiced liar to these people.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
I'm-
anyone here would be skilled enough at avoiding that detection, it would be Sisk, given that they have already done so for years at this point. Bren or Ian, could you do me a favor and describe for Beth the emotions that Aidy is feeling from Bren right now?
Bren is so conflicted. It's deep confliction. Like I mean, his heart is racing. He's gripping like the inside of his palms, and he is just so. Oh, it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, it's that. Like that's the best way that I could describe it. And he looks at Aidy, and he goes, "Keep yourself out of sight. Wait till they pass. Run down the hall." And he turns and he starts walking down the hallway.
Does anyone stop Bren now?
Jesus, Bren!
I guess not. All right. So the four of you are standing there as Bren disappears around the corner of the hallway. His last words to you: find a place to hide. Perception checks, please, assuming that this is something you are actually going to do.
Yeah.
Perception from the rest of us?
Yes.
Hmm.
You can use your passive.
Is the
I use my
room
passive.
that Mira's in? Is it?
Yeah.
Am I
Too late. You
frightened
can't
of
use
the
your
room?
passive after you roll, Beth. You know that. Come on now. Sorry, Andrew. Beth's trying to get one over on her game master.
Is Violet afraid of going into the room that Mira is in? Is that what she's
Violet
frightened
right
of?
now is afraid of everything. Violet doesn't
Okay.
want to be here, and the only reason that she is still here is because it's Mira.
Okay. Fair enough.
So, passive perception from Oriana? I'm assuming
No, I
'cause
rolled a 15.
you rolled a 15? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Perception check from 80
I think it was a 2.
on the dice for a total of...
Oh, 8.
Okay. Yeah, should have used your passive, huh? Violet, I saw a very nice roll. I'm assuming that's more than 20?
24, yeah.
Great. And what is Sisk's passive perception?
16.
Okay. So Oriana and Sisk, both of you notice that there's several doors that you could dip into in this hallway that you're in, and very quickly you both go to the same door. You realize that it's locked, but Sisk very quickly pulls out a set of lockpicks and has it picked in no time flat, and the two of you duck into a hallway. Violet sees just a little bit further down across the hall, maybe only like 5 or 10 feet down, opposite the door that Oriana and Sisk went into, there's another door that is slightly ajar, and ducks into that. And also realizes as she does so that Aidy is standing in the hallway, unmoving, staring at the corner.
Could I reach out and grab her and pull her into the room with me?
Yes. You yank Aidy into the room with you. You all, the four of you, have these moments of paired off roleplay if you would like.
So blue, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Are you from Orlestrin? Like,
Oh yes, my family, they're actually fairly well, I'm not famous in any capacity, but my family's fairly famous. They're famous cartographers.
oh.
Hmm?
So I'm sorry to ask. So I've noticed the eyes. What's that from? Is that just because you're so good at seeing future and the vibes?
It's more like I think it's like a celestial thing. I'm a little bit of a freak accident in my family, apparently. Have a baby, they got eyes all over them. It's a little weird.
Oh, sorry. Well, do you know which ascendant it would be if it was any?
I mean, I'm not quite sure myself, but I would hope it would be Lineage, you know? Stars and the moon and all of that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That makes sense. That would make sense. Wow, that's so amazing. And this is one of the ones allowed, like the study of the stars is allowed by the church. That's one of the things the clergy lets that.
Yes, because
study?
they use it for obviously charting things. You know, it's not all astrological and all of that. It's quite scientific.
Amazing.
And you can
so
just
what-
turn into people.
Yes. That's my main one. I can do some other fun things. With the curse, it's all you got the other types of magic, but the main one, yeah, I can turn into people. But it's not. It's not learned. It's a bit. I think it's inherent, like in my body, rather than something given, a gift or a curse.
I mean, I think being able to change into different things, I think that's quite a gift, regardless of what people might say.
I'm trying to see it that way now.
It's all
taken a
about
while.
perspective.
Yes, exactly. Wow. So blue, huh?
Blue.
And what is transpiring in the other room right now between Violet and Aidy?
I'm going to fucking kill him. What does he think he's doing? He said not to go out there, and then suddenly he's gone out there? He doesn't have a fucking plan?
Hey, I want to be with him so bad, but it's so fucking terrifying. I can't move.
I know.
I want to get Mira and get out of here so bad. And could I peek out the window and could I see where Bren was going? Or peek out the door a little bit?
You can't. You'd have to go down the hallway and look around the corner
Okay.
to see things.
I don't know. I feel like I can't do anything. I feel like I can't make a decision. I feel so stuck. And she kind of like squeezes your hand a little bit.
Yeah, this is pretty awful. And then she'll sort of like put her ear to the door and try to listen to hear if she can hear Bren doing anything, if people are walking by. She's just gonna like wait on guard.
You don't hear anything yet, but let's see what Bren is doing.
No.
So Bren turns the corner. What does he do?
Do I have to walk down the hallway, or when I turn the corner, they're there?
You turn the corner. They're about 50 feet down the hallway from you. As soon as you turn the corner, you can see that they're still having whatever conversation that they had been having before. And the one man that obviously looks to you like the person in charge, his eyes come up first and see you coming down the hallway, and the conversation stops as you begin making your way down the hall. Given your attire and your demeanor, you don't look like someone that normally would be in this place. So there's some obvious and noticeable concern that occurs amongst them. The figure of authority doesn't necessarily change. They already have a serious demeanor about them and, focus to them, but the other two seem to tense up a bit, and one of them begins to raise a hand, and his fingers kind of splay out as if he is prepared to unleash some kind of magic as you begin walking your way down the hall.
I match their demeanor, but then I also put my hands up too, of like in the no need for that, and then try to get closer to them, and I go,
you stay outside of
been an issue.
the 20 feet that you were warned about? Or do you move closer in?
I move closer in.
Okay, I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please. Pretty good.
It's a
roll.
19.
You feel a magic wash over you as you get within about 20 feet. The one that was about to cast magic commands you to halt as you step into that 20-foot radius. And you feel this magic wash over you and start penetrating into your mind. You feel a befuddlement to your words for a moment, and you don't necessarily feel as if you are charmed or enchanted in any way right now, but you can tell clearly that there is magic at work trying to ensure truth from you. You don't know yet if you fought it off, but you can feel it.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I was making my way up the levels, and I noticed on the lower level that one of the rooms were open. I was nosy, and I saw one of you, or someone dressed like you, in there on the ground. I think they're dead, but whoever was in there, I don't know if somebody was in there, but it seems like there was. They are no longer in there.
The figure of authority that's standing there is locked eyes upon you, and you feel that gaze, and you almost have to return that locked expression. You're almost ignoring the other two that are standing next to him. And he tilts his head to the side and seems to be regarding you for a very long and prolonged pause. And you can see a slight shimmer to his eyes as he looks at you. And he says, "What were you doing up so late at night?"
I haven't been able to sleep for a very long time. Personal conflictions.
You feel pain push into your mind. You take points of psychic damage as you unleash a pulse. Do me a favor and roll a deception check to see if you can disguise that pain, that they might not observe it.
Question, Miko.
Yep.
Deception is one of the ones that I have disadvantage on.
Yep.
And the damage that this is providing is psychic damage.
Yep.
I'm resistant to psychic damage, so
So
instead of that being...
I'll say that you take 1 point and you could roll a straight roll instead of a disadvantage.
I will take that.
Druids of the Star. Oh! Druids of the Stars rolling a natural 1.
I'm going to use my last advantage.
Let's go.
Hey, that's a lot better.
And this was a deception,
Uh-huh.
right? It's a
Uh-huh.
dirty 20.
Okay. He seems to nod in response to you. But you can tell that there is an apprehension to him accepting your words as entirely truthful. And he looks at one of his companions and says, "Who do we have on lower levels right now?" Companion says, "Oh, the weird one with the eye thing. I think, yeah, we got most everything out of her that we could, and I mean, it's guaranteed that she's cursed, and yeah, that's not going to be any trouble getting, carting her off through the streets. But I mean, if she got out, it was not the type that I thought any. I mean, maybe, but go and check that."
If I may, and I'm sorry,
They all stop and look at you. It's as if they had just disregarded, your presence.
I would say within all of our best interests, this should be handled with the most decorum, and you look very capable. I am more than willing to give myself to the clergy and stand this post until you all come back. I would put it on my honor. And I slowly put my hand to my pocket.
As you do that,
And
the one guy raises his hand as if,
Please, please, just allow me a moment to show my allegiance. Keep one hand up, and I put my hand in my pocket, and I pull it out, and I show them we call it so many things. I show them my medallion.
the medallion of virtue.
My medallion of virtue, yes.
As you present this medallion of virtue, all of them seem surprised. Even the gentleman of authority, his eyes widen, his eyebrows raise, and he seems shocked. He steps forward, and you know by custom that you are supposed to present your medallion. You hold it aloft in front of you, and he steps forward towards you, looking down at it, and looks back up at you and says, "Of truth, no less. That is most divine that you would approach us now in our time of need." And he reaches a hand forward and places it on your shoulder. "Thank you, brother, for bringing this to our attention. Now I will go as well. And if you remain here for the watch as you indicated upon my return, you will see a great boon from the Naestromo. We would be happy to consider you for our ranks." me an insight check, please.
Oh, gee, Willikers. Okay, hold on, sorry. I'm gonna use my passive, which is 18.
Brilliant. You can see a real and true sense of honor within this man. And it turns your stomach. Because you know that he believes his words and believes in his faith with undying devotion. He knows that what he is doing is right, true. And that scares you more than anything. As he looks at you with this intense gaze and this obvious power in his presence.
I do the gentle head nod, and I assume my new post.
As you step to the side, he turns and looks at the other individual, not the one that had been raising his hand and warning to you, and says, "You can stay here with our friend, and this one and I shall go and deal with the eyed one. Thank you again, future brother." And the two of them start walking down the hall. As you stand there, the one that was not quite as on alert to you, the one that had been just considering you and not ready to quash you with whatever meager spells that could be summoned, just moves next to the door and leans up against it. Says, "That was interesting. I haven't seen Ijoran give that kind of praise to anybody in, I don't know, ever. Pretty handy getting that virtue trial done, huh? You know, I've been thinking about doing those myself. But, you know, they're pretty difficult from what I hear."
They take quite a toll.
Oh, yeah? What was yours like?
What's the worst feeling you can drum up in your body? You ever lost a loved one? You ever loved someone who hasn't loved you back? Anything?
I mean, lost a dog when I was, a kid. That messed me up pretty good. That count?
Yeah. It does, a little bit. Take that feeling and put it right here. And it stays here until you blink. Right, and he points at his chest, right there. And it stays with you until you can breathe again. And then when you do, you realize that's still not the worst of it.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hold off till the next round. Trials. Wow.
Maybe.
What's your name, friend?
Jawline.
Wow. That's a hell of a name.
Hell of a jaw. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not talking about mine. I'm talking about yours, and I punch him in the face.
Cutting back to the rest of you, Beth had asked a question. Ian, is there a range to the mind link?
It's still there's not a range. It's a time frame. We would still be within the time frame.
Okay, yes. So to answer your question, Beth, you do still have the mind link going. We'll say that
I apologize. I lied. 50 feet.
you are not within range of the mind link at this moment then. So you all waiting in your rooms, you hear footfalls echoing down the corridor. These gentlemen are, of course, wearing hard boots, and you can hear the click, click, click of their footfalls down the marble floors as they obviously are making their way. They're not running, but they're also not moving slowly. They're moving with a sense of urgency to their steps, but they're not like running at full speed. You hear them turn the corner. All of you hold your breaths for just a moment, waiting to see if they burst through the doors. But they move past, start making their way away from you as you hear the echoes getting quieter and quieter. One of you from each of your paired off rooms peers into the corridor, and you see them at the far end of the hall disappearing down a set of steps. You emerge, move back into the hallway, glance around the corridor, just in time to see Bren just level a dude standing outside the door, rock him square in the face, completely unsuspecting, dropping him in a heap.
Quick, come on, let's go. I stopped by them before we go though, and I go, get her out, put him in, and I tell that to them, and I look to Violet as they're doing that, and I go, I need you to stab me.
I stab him.
And I hopefully you take the dagger out, and I hit the ground, and I go, put him in there and leave. I will meet up with you when I'm done.
Brilliant. Thank you to Foresight for the bit donations. All of you have another round of advantages. We are going to be wrapping up here soon, just so everybody knows. We're coming to the end of our session tonight, but we're going to do a little bit of additional role-playing here for a moment. The other three of you kick open the door, basically, or we'll say Aidy kicks open the door, being the most urgent, while Oriana and Sisk try to pick up the unconscious one and start to drag him into the room. As Aidy kicks open the door, it was unlocked. It really could have just been like handle turned and opened. She sees immediately in the center of this room, all of the furnishings have been moved to the sides haphazardly, kind of strewn about with zero care. And sitting in a small wooden chair is Mira, slumped, tied, a gag over her face, and completely unconscious. Aidy quickly falls into the room, rushes over to her sister, pulls her head slightly up, and she can see a number of bruises on one side of her face. She's not conscious at this point. You can feel the limpness in her head. There she is.
Okay.
The others, go ahead.
You're okay. And she'll start just untying everything.
As soon as you untie her,
upright.
she like slumps down onto your body. You have to basically hoist her up.
Yeah, and I will.
Oriana's gonna help. She's gonna stumble over and help.
Thank you. And Aidy just keeps like sort of just whispering like, "You're okay. We'll be okay. You're all right." As she, walks with Oriana, bringing Mira out.
As you step into the room, you realize your fear goes away, but also your emotional connection to the world goes away as well.
Oof. Okay.
Oriana and Sisk, mostly Sisk, drags the body into the room. Oriana lends a hand in helping Aidy carry Mira out of the room. You all stand there in the hallway. Bren
How high
bleeding
up
on the
are we?
floor. So the towers of Occam are enormous. You're several hundred feet in the air at this point. Like, you're basically almost 300 feet into the sky.
Mhm. If we were to say jump out a window, would we reach the ground in a minute?
It depends on whether or not you cast Featherfall before.
Yes, if I have Featherfall, and we can all just jump out the window. I don't know.
So
if Aidy, do you
Featherfall
have invisibility?
essentially lasts for a 600-foot height.
Okay.
Essentially.
So
You could yeet, as chat says, you could yeet yourselves out a window if you wish.
perfect. Invisibly.
Don't think
Oh no,
so.
I can't.
Aidy
Yeah.
can't. Damn it.
I mean,
okay.
I can, but there's like the anti-magic.
Oh,
Is there
stop.
any magic that Oriana could assist in such an escape out a window?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, jeez. I think maybe. Oh, I was muted.
Because like we could find a window that's not within the anti-magic fields, right?
Oh yeah, you're staying like at the end of this hallway. There's a window. That's
Okay,
yeah.
great. Well then, yeah, I'll go invisible, right? That's fine.
Oh, was that what was? I thought you just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Okay. If you
Oh,
were,
no, I
because
can
when
do
you
it.
step back out into the hallway, you have your magic, access to your magic.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I mean, like,
So Mira's
who's
like
gonna-
weirdly limp, kind of floating there on my shoulder.
well, you
who's
could
like
upcast
really going
it.
to be looking out a window, expecting people to be jumping out of it? You know,
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't think anybody would be.
I wouldn't be. That wouldn't be the first place I would look.
If I look at a window, could I see Lyra flying around?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's go.
A piece.
Andrew, you also know that Lyra is intelligent and is within 100 feet. Wink, wink. You have the message, though. You could send a message to Lyra.
Yeah, I'll send a message to Lyra. I'll let her know what our plan is. We'll jump out the window and that tell Ren where we will land, and then hopefully we can meet up.
That's great. You might want to clarify with Bren what the plan actually is, because you haven't really discussed that plan just yet. Right now, Bran is just bleeding on the floor.
He said to just leave and that he'd meet us. I trust him fully.
Goodbye.
Just jump out the window with us. What are you doing?
How? Okay, and then what? Then they come looking for me. They don't know your face. They know my face.
But you have to like lie to them.
Not anymore. It's not gonna be that hard. Please leave.
Okay. Meet back at the safe house?
Goodbye.
I hate this. I hate this.
Oriana, as everybody's preparing to just leap out of this window, Oriana turns and looks back at Bren. And for the briefest of moments, you see a red meteor cross your vision.
I think that Oriana's gonna look at Bren. I think you should come with us.
You're
muted,
You're
Ian.
muted.
It's fine. They already think that I'm good. This guy stabbed me, and the person escaped. That's how it happened. Go.
No, Mira was unconscious. She couldn't have escaped on her own, and just Oriana, was
It's
this
the same-
a feeling of
It's
yours?
the same people. Oh, Jesus, my pancreas.
I'm just
Bad
I'm
feeling.
gonna grab Bren from like, if he's already stabbed, I'm just gonna grab him from like his vest and then just drag him with us. I'm not very strong, but I'm
window.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I guess we're doing this. Gonna save me the stabbing.
As we're jumping out the window, I'll press my hands to Bren's shoulders and I'll do some healing hands.
Oh.
What does that look like, and how does it feel for Bren as Oriana lays hands upon him?
The eyes on the palms of my hands open up, and they emit a soft, muted white light, and you feel a calm, almost like a feeling that everything will be okay. Almost like a blissful feeling as it surges through your body, almost like it's seeking out the wound to heal it until it settles on your side where the wound is. It begins to stitch closed.
And surprisingly, while we're feather falling on the ground for the first time and Bryn can remember, he takes an exhale of actual relief. I have a question, Miko, and you can tell me if this is too much. With Oriana's connection to the stars, and with my connection to the stars, during that healing, do I get a glimpse, not an understanding, but a glimpse of that red meteor?
No. But we'll say, along with the calming and soothing sensation of the healing hands, as they find the central part of Bren that is most injured, soul, there is a brief flash in his mind of the celestial heavens above. And he is reminded of a time where he sat on the farm, staring up at the stars, his dad, when he was very young. And his dad telling him all of the constellations, telling him what they all mean, telling him which ones had been assigned to which ascendant. And he points at one in particular in this memory, where he says, "That one's Luniesh. You should always listen to Luniesh."
Cool. Bryn doesn't say anything in this moment. He just sits in the feeling.
Okay. You all land safely upon the ground thanks to Sisk's magic. I'm assuming, Aidy, you could have upcasted invisibility so that Mira would also be invisible and not just a floating, disembodied, unconscious body.
I mean, that's funnier, but yes, I can upcast it.
So 2 of you invisible, 4 of you not. You very quickly make your way off of the grounds. You meet up with Auntie Ren and Lyra and start making your way back to the safe house. An unconscious Mira safely in your arms, and perhaps a new friend following close behind. And that's where we're going to call it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Myriad, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
What a great
I can't
surprise.
believe it. Yeah, it's incredible.
I'm glad you guys were surprised.